Hi, this is Edith, Instructional Innovation Trainer at Klamath Community College, and in this video I'm going to go over the Microsoft Word options that you find under the File tab. So I'm going to go ahead and open my Microsoft Word, go to File and Options. Now there's a lot of changes that you can do in here. So starting with the general, you can show the mini toolbar on selection. So basically what that is when, let me go ahead and cancel this real quick. When I highlight here, this is the mini toolbar that they're talking about. So it's a quick, easy way to get to do some minor changes that, formatting changes that you might want to make just to that selection. So you can either show it or not. Enable live preview, so you can see how the feature affects the text that you selected or what you were trying to do. I use this a lot, especially when I'm doing formatting of a document. I just want to make sure everything lines up correctly. That's what that's used for. So you can turn these features on and off by checking and unchecking these boxes. Update document content with dragging, so sometimes you might have a picture or something within the document so you can actually see what it's going to look like and how it's going to affect. So that's kind of like this section right here is how is your document going to be affected by some of the things you're doing aside from the mini toolbar here. You can turn these on or off. It's just screen tips just to kind of give you a suggestion of how to do certain things. Like, when I hover, that's a screen tip there. That's what they're talking about. You can personalize your copy of the Microsoft Office. So perhaps you don't want your username to be in there. You can take it out. So it's up to you. And then always use these values regardless of whether you're signed into Office or not. Usually as employees, we are going to always be signed in because that's part of the sign in when you sign into your computer. In another video, I talked about this on the file menu. You can actually change the backgrounds. That's just this up here. And they just have some different options there. You can also change your theme. So perhaps you like the dark gray. I would have to hit OK for it to apply. But once I do, it'll turn into a dark gray. And that's the way it will be every time I use the program. These are all personal options here, so whatever works best for you. Perhaps you like the dark gray because it's easier on your eyes, or you like the colorful because you want to see colors, or you just like the lighter version of it. You can change your default programs. This may bring you over to another section of Windows. Let's go ahead and click on that. Yeah, so it's going to tell you to go to apps and default apps. So if you need to reset those, and I'll cover setting defaults in another video, but for the most part, Word recognizes the .doc and docx as a Word document, so you won't probably have to do that. You can have it tell you whether it's the default or not. Open email, attachments, and other uneditable files and reading view. That way, so you don't have to you just can open it up in Microsoft Word. It's not going to allow you to edit, but you can at least read it in Microsoft Edit. Show the start screen. So the start screen is, for me, I like it. It will have on the left-hand side all your recently opened documents or a blank page or some templates that you've downloaded or created right there, and then you can click from there to get into Word. Otherwise, if you don't want to do that, you just uncheck this, and what will happen is Microsoft Word will just open with a blank document for you. Real-time collaboration, so you can definitely do that. If you want to collaborate with others, there is, when working with others, I want to automatically share my changes. You can change that. I would say always, just so that if I am collaborating at the same time with somebody, they can see what the changes I'm making and I'm not overstepping on what they're doing, and vice versa. But you can turn it on to never or always ask. And then show name presence on present flags. So this is like Google Docs. If you use Google Docs for collaboration, you'll see everybody has their own color and you can see who's editing what. Same difference. That's all that is here. For the display, so you can see how the document looks on the screen and when it's printed. So you can just change these options as you prefer. You can also show these all the time. Like I talked about on the home tab, that's the same as this little guy right here. Or you can just say, I just want to see these types of things, or I just want to show everything all the time. So when you change it in here, it will affect every single document. And then printing options, again, pick and choose what you want. Maybe you want to print headed text, maybe you don't. Maybe you want to print the document properties, maybe you don't. You have all of these options available to you. Autocorrect. Everybody loves autocorrect. So I would leave it on. As much as it is a frustration, it really does help. So you can come in here and you can actually make some of your own changes. You can add and remove if you want things to be different. So like, you know, here's it'll automatically change it for you here. So just so that you're aware that that's available to you. You also have math autocorrect, auto format as you type. So you can do all of these things and make these changes as you choose. So read through them. I'm not going to go through every single one of them because there is so much to go on and I don't want this video to go too long. Saving options, I would recommend here minimum 3 to 5 minutes. I actually prefer 3. That way it automatically saves your document. So if something happens, a power outage, and you know you forgot to save, and maybe you're only 2 minutes into the documents. If it's at 10 minutes, then it doesn't save anything, or I should say 3 minutes into the document. So it doesn't save anything if you've been editing for. If that's set at 10 and you're editing for only 3 minutes, then nothing gets saved and then you've lost all of that work. So I would leave it at a very low number there. And yes, I'd keep that checked as well. And then you can see where the auto recover location is. You can change that. That definitely is something you can change. You can even create a folder called auto recover and maybe have it point to that. But if ever you're looking for one that needs to be the one that was auto recovered, then you know where to look for it here. I'm unsure about this one. Don't show the backstage when opening or saving files. It's probably just, you know, some information that's just showing you what's going on in the background. You know, you can change any of these. I would just read through them. I don't want to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. Usually the defaults are good enough, and that's what these are right here, except for here. This is the only thing that I would change. You can also change your default file location. So you can see I actually did change mine because I like it to go to the OneDrive so that I know that it will be accessible anytime I need to get to it, regardless of where I'm at. You have offline editing options. So, you know, again, where you can find it, where they're located. And then I can preserve the fidelity of this document and I can embed fonts into the file. So that's kind of like if there are fonts that are not from the available on my computer, it will actually embed them in there. You can change your language. So if you like different, you know, want to write in a different language, you can actually add them in through here. And then we have the advanced options. Again, these are a lot of this is all defaulted. Usually the default is good. I would recommend going through these. I can uncheck and check anything that I want. It just really depends. And if you really, really need some help with this and want to understand this a little bit further, please let me know. I'll do a more extensive video on it. I just don't want to go too long as it already is going. So please keep in mind that you have all of these options, what you can show, what you don't have to show, how you want it displayed, how many recent documents you want, you know, show shortcuts and screen tips. So that's those things when you hover over the top of them, they'll show you like what the shortcut keys are for that. You can also customize this ribbon, which is this little guy right up here. You can add and remove things. I know that I talked in about a video that I had, the developer, that's this right here. So if you're ever looking for it, you can actually check it. It's already over here for you. Quick access toolbar, that's that guy up here. So I can add and remove things. Maybe there's something I do a lot of, so I just can throw it over here if I choose to do that. Maybe I want, you know, spelling and grammar. I just click on add and then it puts it over there. or I can remove it. Maybe I don't want touch mouse mode. I can remove that as well. Add-ins, these are all the add-ins that are added to your Microsoft Word program. If you ever need to know what they are, they're here. See if you have one. It's just a place to go. You don't really need to do anything with it. Trust Center, please don't do anything in here. This is just if something happens and you get a certificate error or something like that, contact IS. That's just what I would recommend right away. If you have anything, don't change anything in here. So that is an overview of the options menu. So if you have any other comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to contact me or to netklamathcc.edu, extension 340, and you can find me on Skype for Business, where I would be more than glad to IM with you or do a video chat and do some screen sharing, and you'll find me as Edith Warden. Thank you and have a great day.